We're just about to finish up this episode here of Angry Planet, but first let's talk a little about your weather. The rain right now into Vancouver, that's going to clear out throughout the overnight, and we'll start to see the rain ease for the north coast as well. Alberta, beautiful day today, but temperatures, they are going to dip into tomorrow, only 13 in Calgary. And today, freezing rain moving just north of Superior. This is all going to transition into Quebec throughout the overnight tonight, so we'll keep a close eye on this system as it continues to track through. And we'll also see this tomorrow into the Maritimes. You can expect to see the rain. And speaking of a collapse, Nova Scotia's hole in Long Island has collapsed, and Nathan Coleman is going to look into that story. Of course, an iconic landmark out in Nova Scotia draws lots of tourism to that region as well. Now, thanks for tuning into the Weather Network. I'm Rachel Schoutsen, and this here's a look at some of the latest warnings. We are seeing the freezing rain warnings in place. Geraldton over to Kapuskasing down to Timmins, right along Highway 11. So, yeah, you can bet travel through this region will be a little treacherous this afternoon. This system is going to continue to push further to the east, and that's why people in Quebec are also going to be affected by this as well. When we look at some of these special weather statements, they have extended in through Quebec, and when we talk about a place like Quebec City, well, this here is where you could see some freezing rain, and that's going to be throughout the overnight tonight around midnight. That should be your turn to get into this. So you can see this low as it continues to clear throughout Ontario. We'll have another front. You can almost see it right there. That's going to pass throughout Ontario in through Thursday, and that's what's going to cool down the temperatures for Friday. Thursday about a daytime high of 15. Friday getting down to 9. Now you can see as this moves in through Quebec and to the Maritimes, we also have that freezing rain warning that has been extended now for Campbellton and also Edmundston. Now, temperature-wise out in the Atlantic, as we look at your story here in through this evening, 5 degrees in Charlottetown, 7 in Halifax, 6 in St. John's, and tomorrow the wet weather is going to move through the Maritimes. Nice day, though, out on the Avalon. Now, as we look over to the west here, Vancouver, that front is coming through you right now. That's why you're into that rain. The rain is going to clear throughout the overnight. Same thing up for the north coast as well. We'll get into some lighter bouts of rain. And the cool down, yeah, the certain cool down is coming into play for Alberta. Today about 18 degrees, beautiful conditions, and as we look at tomorrow, very cool. And before we leave, here's a look at temperatures to the north. Mark, thanks for that explanation there, because freezing rain is what we're dealing with right now in places like Geraldton, over to Kapuskasing, down to Timmins as well. Quebec City bracing for some freezing rain overnight tonight. We can see it's all associated with this system here on the radar. Quite a cluster of colors here, right? We're seeing the mixing. That's in the pink. That's indicating some of that freezing rain. It's all snow up to the north. And as we look at places like Sault Ste. Marie over to Sudbury and Ottawa, this is going to be all a rain event and very light spotty showers down throughout southern Ontario. As we focus in on your story throughout the south here, Newmarket, Barrie, Toronto, all the way out towards Whitby, yeah, it's going to be raining this evening. Light rain showers, 13 degrees, so actually fairly comfortable. The cold front that's coming through that's bringing in this rain, it's not cooling down the temperatures. No, we're not going to feel that until about Friday. We can see this evening as well, the rain showers are going to move throughout Quebec, and tomorrow, well, they'll be in a place like Halifax throughout the overnight and into tomorrow morning. And we will see the rain first track throughout New Brunswick, move into PEI, and then Halifax looks to be a cloudy day as we get into tomorrow. But you can see cooler temperatures coming into play, especially throughout the evening and through the overnight. Now, when we talk about cool temperatures, that is not the case out across the prairies. Nice, warm conditions today. Look at Calgary. Maybe the envy of the country, I'll say. 19, Lethbridge at 22, but a cold front. A cold front will sweep throughout Alberta throughout the day today, especially through the overnight, and that's why tomorrow, while Calgary are only going to be getting up to about 12 degrees. Now, I want to take you onto the west coast here as we get in through Thursday. The rain will become a little bit lighter throughout the central and through the north coast, but still looking at a wet forecast here. You can see through Thursday, Vancouver at 14, Calgary, there's your drop in temperatures, 19 down to just about 12 here, Winnipeg at 13, and southern Ontario still basking in that heat. Thursday, 15, that is above seasonal, very nice for mid to late October now, but you can see a secondary cold front is going to come throughout the day on Friday, and that's going to bring some of your temperatures down. So only 9 degrees as we look ahead at Friday for the city of Toronto. We'll also see the rain showers move in through southern Manitoba, and that system tomorrow in the Maritimes. By Friday, it will be in Newfoundland. And as we continue with this Back to the Future theme, fun fact, I actually grew up with a DeLorean in my garage. That's my dad and his DeLorean. He actually sold it about 2 years ago, and that's a picture on the day that he said goodbye to the DeLorean. I have to say, a completely unreliable car. Now, of course, we were talking about predicting the future, predicting the rain. Here's more on that precip start-stop. And your full national forecast is just ahead. We're just about to get into Angry Planet here, but first, your forecast. The Jays play this evening, so if you're out celebrating, well, it's going to be 13 degrees and a little bit of rain. Yeah, the rain shower's moving through. We saw it this morning, and then we'll see it again throughout the dinner hour as well. So you can see this evening, widespread rain throughout southern Ontario. Temperatures are still okay for this time of year. 13 should be a daytime high, never mind an evening temperature. And then as we fast forward into Thursday afternoon, high pressure comes into place, still at 15 degrees. The temperature though, they will drop for Friday. Amazing stuff there in that time lapse. And of course, we'll feature a new one every day here on the Weather Network. Thanks for being here with us. I'm Rachel Schoutsen. We're going to focus in on your story in through southern Ontario. This system here is bringing a wild mix of weather. We've got snow, freezing rain, and just straight rain in with this. Very breezy conditions today as well in through the greater Toronto area. For us here, it's all just straight rain. Yeah, we don't have to worry about the freezing rain. That's going to be a story up through Kapuskasing and Timmins. Snow up to the north. We're looking at 10, 20 centimeters of snow with this system up to places like Moosonee. So the far north, yes. What we are looking at into tomorrow, Thursday, clear out. So we'll see the sunshine. That rain has been removed. But what we will see on Thursday as well is another cold front sliding through. And as this cold front comes through, this is the one that's actually going to bring down our temperatures. So you can see here, Thursday, still 15 degrees for Toronto. That's an excellent temperature for this time of year. We really are now in the latter half of October. So to see 15, that is great. We should really be at 13 for this time of year. And then as we move forward into Friday, you can see the cooler conditions really coming into play. It's that secondary cold front. I'll show you in the movie in a second here, but look at this, just single digits for the daytime highs. So basically what we have today is this cold front coming through. That's what's bringing in the rain. But as we look forward in through Thursday throughout the day, this secondary cold front comes through, and that's what's going to make us so cool as we look ahead into Friday. So again, the single digit highs. And as we take a look at a few cities here in your 7-day forecast, you can see Toronto, for example, into Friday, just 9 degrees. Yeah, that's it here. A little bit of a spike back up to 13. That's seasonal into the weekend. And Hamilton, same situation, just looking at 9. Now stay with us here. We'll have more on your forecast in through southern Ontario. And remember, your locals, they're coming up on the 10s. That's for sure, Mark. And we'll also chat with Doug as well, and he'll have his take on what we can expect and when winter's sort of, well, going to be in our backyard. For this evening, though, look at this, 13 degrees, some rain showers, yes, but thankfully this is not snow. No, because this same system up to northern Ontario, well, it's dropped 8 centimeters of snow in Pickle Lake. Freezing rain warnings in place from Kapuskasing down to Timmins. So this could be a lot worse, right? And we can see this system here. This is the messy mix of winter up to the north. For us here in the south, we're dealing with a cold front that's really not even that cold, bringing us just a little bit of rain. Puts it into comparison, right? Makes it seem a little bit better. So as we look forward, well, maybe not look forward into the cool down, it is coming. Tomorrow, beautiful day, 15 degrees. So again, above seasonal, similar conditions to what we saw today. Nice and comfortable to be outdoors, but we will have a secondary cold front, and Friday, high pressure will be in place, but that's when we are going to start to see some cooler conditions. And then as we look ahead into the weekend as well, we should have another system track through. The bulk of that again will be up to northern Ontario, but we could see just a few spits and spats of rain with this. As we look at the 7-day forecast here, you can see that's where the light showers could come into play. For the most part, though, once we're done with today, the dry forecast is in store. But a lot of the times, especially getting closer to the winter, when we do have high pressure in place and it's dry, a lot of the time that means it's funneling in some cold air, and we can really see that in play on Friday. Watching those overnight lows, it's not getting down to the minus digits here, but it's still certainly cool and a shock to the system. And what we will see again with these areas of high pressure, these will start to send some cool Arctic air into our region. I like that. The smile score right across the country. Our top 5 video. Chris Murphy, thank you for that. Now I want to take you into your forecast. This is a national look across the country, and we're going to start off here with some warnings. Yeah, freezing rain warnings are in place. We have seen a very messy system roll through Ontario. If you live in southern Ontario, it's just been some light rain, but up to the north, 8 centimeters of snow in Pickle Lake, and freezing rain warnings that stretch from Geraldton through Kapuskasing, Timmins, and now into Quebec, just north of Quebec City. The freezing rain warnings linger, and also into northern portions of New Brunswick as well. As we focus in on Ontario first this evening, the cold front continues to drive through 13 degrees. That's pretty good for an evening in October. That's pretty much where our daytime high should be for this time of year. Now, as the cold front comes through, it's bringing in some rain. It's not bringing in cooler temperatures. I'll tell you when that will happen coming up. But first, let's take a look into Quebec. The freezing rain potential is there as well, especially north of the St. Lawrence, and that's why the warning has been extended here and also into Campbellton and also for Edmundston in northern New Brunswick. As we focus in on the south, no freezing rain warnings here. This should just be a rain story as the system continues to move throughout Thursday afternoon in the Maritimes. This evening here, single digits. Yep. That's as warm as it's going to get. So we are getting certainly into those chilly nights. It's the norm now for this time of year. This is the system. This is what's bringing in the freezing rain now in through northern Ontario. By Thursday, that's cleared out. It will be a story through Quebec and into the Maritimes. Maritimes Thursday, Newfoundland for Friday. And yes, this is likely to bring some snow up and towards Wabush and through Labrador City as well. I want to take you out onto the west coast here, and we can show you that Vancouver, the rain showers, yeah, they're continuing for you. They are going to taper off after dinner time and especially throughout the overnight. The rain a little lighter for the north and central coast, but the rain showers are still going to be your story. And Alberta, let's talk about you for a second. Beautiful day today, but tomorrow, 12 degrees in Calgary. That's it. The beautiful fall foliage. Wonderful scene there. Mark Robinson was out just near Guelph today looking for some rain, chasing not really any storms, but just following the weather story today. I'm Rachel Schoutsen. Thank you for watching the Weather Network. This here is a look at Ontario, and this is a great map. This shows you this evening, and you can really see the divide in temperatures across the province here. Kapuskasing at 0, Timmins, Moosonee, the same thing. Even Sudbury at 7 seems a lot colder when you compare it to 19 in Windsor or 13 in Toronto. We still have this warm air filtering in through the south. The cold front came through today. It's coming through right now. It's still bringing in those rain showers, but this one is not cooling down the temperatures for the south. We're not going to see that until about Friday. Now this is a look at the snowfall forecast, and no snow out in the Atlantic. No, this really is just a story in through northern Ontario, northern and central Quebec as well. Places like Pickle Lake, you've already picked up about 8 centimeters of snow with this one. Moosonee, you're going to be into some of those heavier amounts. We're thinking about 20 centimeters of snow with this one on the high end. Now places like Kapuskasing and Timmins, well, you're not going to be tracking huge amounts of snow because you're unfortunately into the freezing rain. Yeah, the freezing rain moving through here. We're seeing the warning from Geraldton all the way through till Timmins. This moves through Quebec, just north of Quebec City, and even in through New Brunswick as well. We can see through Campbellton and Edmundston, you are in that freezing rain warning. Now, this freezing rain will probably be at its peak throughout Quebec through the overnight tonight. So, of course, not many people on the roads, but if you are, this could be very treacherous for travel. We've been seeing that along Highway 11 in northern Ontario. Now, let's talk about your story here. In through the Atlantic system that's affecting Quebec and Ontario, this is going to be into your backyard through the Maritimes. It's going to start off with a little bit of a mix in freezing rain in through northern New Brunswick and then just straight rain throughout the day. This could even miss Halifax. Could just be some very spotty showers. And then Friday, Newfoundland. Yeah, it's going to hit you. So as we look at this evening now across southern Manitoba, Winnipeg at 8, you're done with the rain. This low originated from across the prairies. Southern Saskatchewan, pretty comfortable as well. Regina at 8 here, Kindersley at 9, and Alberta, well, today was your day when we talk about your temperatures over 20 degrees for places like Lethbridge. Stunning conditions through this evening. Okay, we're down to 13 for Calgary, and 13, that's going to be your daytime high for tomorrow. The cold front is working its way through. It's really bringing down your temperatures, and this heat that we saw today, it's really just like a one-day sale. You miss it and it's gone. Now, before I leave you here, we can compare our theme a lot colder to the north. All right, we'll start off this forecast here by taking a look at some of the overnight conditions. Winnipeg at -1. Yeah, it's certainly going to be cool here. You can see where the warmth is. Toronto through to Montreal, but that's coming with the price of some rain. Calgary cooling down to 6 after a day of being into the 20s. As we look here at Thursday morning, 6 degrees for Calgary, 9 in Vancouver. Lots of sunshine here, and we'll also see the sun return to southern Manitoba and Ontario.